Everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. So we're going to do some PSU. I know I originally said last time we streamed that I was probably going to do 0, but I was forgetting that the Clementine Valentine's event was starting. And if I don't do it this week, I can't do it next week, and it'll be done by then. So it's a case of I have to do it today. So we will do 0, not next week, but the week after. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Apologies for no stream on Wednesday and no Discord event yesterday as well. Been a bit unwell over the last sort of week or so, so I'm just about starting to get better now. So first, I did just want to go up my room quick and drop some stuff off, and then we'll get started. But yeah, hopefully stream should be back to normal now. The Valentine, the event quest is similar to PSO2 Valentines and Caves. I can sort of remember the PSO2. Yeah, I can kind of. I remember the music more than anything. You have a split that has a wait portal first, but you can split and go back the other way. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Clarity, actually, it wasn't my stomach this time for once. Normally, it is my stomach that bothers me if I'm, if I am ill. But no, I just had like horrendous headaches. I was feeling a bit nauseous, but it wasn't so much my stomach. Yeah, I think I just picked up a bug from somewhere. But I am mostly back to normal now. And I think, let's go. Do I actually have the full Hunuel outfit? Bugs are weak to fire type. I'll remember that. So just while we're getting started here, just a reminder, next Sunday stream will be a collab stream with another creator called Pizza Maid, who's another Phantasy Star content creator. So next Wednesday will be Front Mission as normal. The next Sundays will be a PSOBB stream with Pizza Maid. People from chat will still be able to join us for runs. That'll be the same as normal, but it'll just be basically me and Pizza Maid just yapping for the stream, more or less. And then on I think it's the 28th, which is a Saturday, I'll be on Pizza Maid's channel. Do I have Sanga and Yashi U Plus? I don't. I think I've got Yashi U Plus, I think. Yeah, I've got Yashi U Plus. So we're halfway there. Look for Sangayashi U Plus in the shop. I'm curious. I will do. Double the fun for PSO. It should be fun. I mean, Pizza Maid is very much a Phantasy Star creator. They do play other stuff as well, but they are very much Phantasy Star first and foremost, I would say. I think that's fair to say. They're currently actually going through Phantasy Star 2 on some of the streams as well, which I think has been an interesting experience for them so far. I'm glad to know I'm not the only one who spent most of the streams grinding in Phantasy Star 2. Right, so how do I even search shops in this game? I literally can't remember. Glad you were there for Phantasy Star 1 to 4. Yeah, I probably will go through them again at some point, honestly. I mean, particularly 4. I think that deserves. Where do I actually search for it, Drax? I don't think I've ever searched for anything in player shops in this game. It sure was an experience. I mean, 3 was an experience. 2 was just, it was a grind. It's that terminal. Ah, search for a shop. Ah, there we go. Search by item. So it's Sanga Yasha / U plus. It'd be nice if it showed you the price. I mean, I guess I'll check it. Wrong option. Oh, you can search by price. Oh, well, we'll check this one. $1 million, I mean, that's nothing. I mean, we could just literally buy it. That's very weird that from here you can select your room, but if you press it, it doesn't do anything. I guess it treats you as already there, I suppose. Fine. Yeah, it should be a really fun series of collabs. Like I said, the one next Sunday, that is literally just going to be me and Pizza playing PSOBB. It'll just be like a normal PSOBB stream where we just run whatever we feel like, but you know, we'll have Pizza Made and their community there as well. I believe their community is called the Penguin Crew, which I think are named after the penguins from Dizolis in Phantasy Star 4. Right, so let's try this again. So search for shop. Is it search by condition? By condition. Okay. Set item name. We're getting somewhere. Spell it right, that would help. Sangayasha / U plus. And then I guess just search. Hey, bit good to see you. Can't tell you how many times I've accidentally done that. Yeah, 1 million. That is for a 4 out of 6 though, so it's kind of a bit of a damage one. I mean, it's on the attack power requirement. I think I can equip it. I'm sure. Can I? Yeah, Fortified can use S-Rank Twin Turbos. I kind of feel I have to, don't I? I mean, what am I even doing if I don't use Sangayasha? How much money do I have? Yeah, we have enough, let's say that. Right, let's have a look, see if there's any better ones. Okay, it remembers the item name, that's good. So to get one that hasn't been broken, we are talking 7.6 mil for one that isn't grinded and not great percents. How much is a really nice one? Because I don't want to grind, to be fair, but how much would a 10 out of 10 be? We'll never know. 8 out of 8 is pretty nice. Not for that much money though. Was there another 8 out of 8 somewhere? There is, for 10 million. Well, there is a 9 out of 9 for 7 million. It is ground element, but maybe? Or fire. Fire I'm less confident about. I mean, we love light element, but that's a 5 out of 5. That will not do. You can change elements. So how easy is it to change element on a U+? Thanks for PSU for bringing this shop so we deal with this evening in Jess, yeah. It's 1 GC. I can't even remember how you get GC or if I have any. This is where my knowledge of PSU just falls off a cliff. Like, I don't do this. Complete any mission, you should have thousands. Okay. Old school RPGs are all about grinding, really. They don't hold your hand like they do on modern ones. Yeah, Phantasy Star 2 definitely doesn't hold your hand. Well, in that case, then, we could buy... I mean, that's a 9 out of 9. I have like 30 million. That seems worth it to me. The fire one. Oh yeah, that's 45. Yeah, so I guess we go with that and then change the element. Check the attack difference between 8 and 9. So 9 is 1450, 8 is 1400. It's 900 PP against 950 PP. But what's the cheapest I can get? Oh, there is an 8 out of 8 there for like 3.4. It's only 1% lower. Maybe that's the play then. Yeah, let's do that. But yeah, the stream on the 28th, that will only be on Pizza Med's channel. So the one next week, well, next Saturday, sorry, next Sunday, that will be on both of our channels, and we'll be using shared chat for it, so you'll be able to chat to each other in the chat. On the 28th, that will only be on Pizza Med's channel because that's going to be on a Saturday. I will still be doing a Sunday stream, but that will be on a Saturday, and that's basically going to be like it's kind of like a talk show that Pizza Med does about once a month or so. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me as well for that, there is a hashtag you can use on X or Bluesky, which I think is MHHSkyly. I don't think another million for 2% more is worth it. Yeah, I'll go with that. Gimme. I leave the questions to you guys. I imagine the questions will be vetted beforehand, but yeah. Okay, we have a Sangayasha. I really need more floating art as well at some point. I do not use or ever will use X or Bluesky. That's totally up to you. Okay, so I assume changing element is Guardian's Hub, I would guess, because it seems like everything is in Guardian's Hub. If I get my gun tech to level 50, I'll give you my Skyline Wing. Yeah, it kind of sucks that it is locked behind Gun Techer. I never liked Gun Techer. Right, so where do I change element? It's one of these counters, I'm sure of it. Is it you? What do you do? I don't know. It's Lou, okay. We'll just go for Azure Wing. Of course you can't do it while it's equipped. Who's playing Forte Gunner? I actually don't mind Forte Gunner. I mean, I prefer Gunmaster, obviously. Okay, change element. I'm going light element because light element just seems very good in this game. Although, I might change it to dark. Just quick question, if I change element, can I freely change the element again at any point if I spend GP? Because I know the current event is basically all light monsters. So it's probably worth making it dark for now. Careful with neutral, it removes your 40%. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess I'll make it dark for now then, so it's decent for this event. Okay, I have 10,255 GC, and it costs 1. It really didn't have to have that progress gauge. I really don't need a PTSD from that. Thank you, Lou. Now, I believe the current event is in New Days, I think. It is like the scariest thing ever. Like, particularly if you play PSU on the Sega servers, that grinding noise is the scariest noise in the game. There's also a GC and gas counter in the event area. Cool. Oh, I guess you can just go to event. That works. You got some classic bangers going here. So I believe there are a couple of quests for this event. Another made like a 4-player version of an old 2-player one, and then there's another quest as well. So I guess we can try both. If there's anyone else in chat who's here, by the way, just let me know and I can invite you. Because I might not remember everyone's names. It's the Otoku counter, okay. Is that this one, I think? It is. So there's Love is in the Air, Duet under Sakura, and Quartet under Sakura. So I'm assuming that's 2-player, 4-player. Give me Mazetta. I mean, I guess I'll try this one first. If we get a 4th, we can try the Quartet. Yeah, from what I read about the Quartet and the Duet one, it sounds like they lap. So, I don't know, they're a bit like endless quests or something? I know on the wiki it says that they lap and you can keep doing laps of them. I guess we can start with this one, I suppose. Alright, do I dare leave the party open, given what happened last time with PSU? For those who didn't see the last PSU stream, we ended up having like a few people just ranting for most of one of the quests. Like having a full-blown argument. Yeah, we can do that. It's a password that no one will ever guess. For those on the stream, you see it. Although you might not because the UI is tiny. Speaking of the UI, I checked my launcher and I can't see an option anywhere to resize the UI. So many of your vids pop up on YouTube and clicked it. Haven't played PSO for 20 years and downloaded PSO BB earlier in the week. Game immediately feels like home. The community is amazing. Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah. Did you go with, was it Affinity you went with, or was it another server? Alright, let's try this. I like the purple theme. I'm for that. Oh god, it's still Kamui and Yasha. It's still broken. Shout out to the PSL Baby Discord community for helping me out. Peanut on Affinia. I'll keep an eye out for you. Yeah, we'll be playing PSL Baby next Sunday. I love that this model is still broken in PSU. I find that very, very funny. Yeah, glad you're having fun with PSO though. I think, honestly, I think a lot of people just don't realise that it's still playable on private servers. I kind of feel the support for the game is so strong, I don't see it changing anytime soon. The private server's been going for years, so... I don't know if you're here, Zale, but you want to be at the Otoku City counter for the quest. I don't know if you're at the wrong counter. Well, yeah, Firefly, we basically play most Phantasy Star games on stream. Usually the Sunday streams are the Phantasy Star games, then we play something else midweek, but yeah. I am on somewhat of a quest to try and play every single Phantasy Star game if I can. I don't know if that's actually physically possible, because I think there is some that are just completely unplayable now, but we'll play as many as we possibly can. Hi Coco, what's PSU? PSU is the game that came after PSO. So if you played Phantasy Star Online, that was... the latest version of that was around 2004, which was Blue Burst. This game released in around 2006. So it was like the next one in the series, like the next mainline entry, which changed things up quite a lot. And this is the private server Clementine that we're playing on. I don't appreciate that this guy keeps warping when I'll try launching him. I was going to say it looks like PSO BB2. There's definitely similarities between PSO and PSU. There is a lot of things that changed up as well, though, for sure. I've said it quite a few times, but if you've played PSO 2, this kind of feels like a halfway house between PSO and PSO 2. You can see where some of the PSO 2 ideas came from. Yeah, so they clearly warp when you try to launch them. That's very annoying. I think it might be blind, Zale. So in the Pavilion of Air, so that lobby is obviously, that's the one you would normally get White Beast from, isn't it? So you want to enter the lobby entrance as if you're coming from the city. See, basically there's two options. So one of the doors would normally take you to White Beast, and it's kind of the other option. Oh, you got a div as actually U+, nice. What's the player count like? At the moment, there's 83 people online at the minute. There is a current event. Yeah, there is an event on at the moment. We are running a party 3 at the minute. It's just, yeah, one of us is lost at the moment. But yeah, there's about 83 people on at the minute, which isn't too bad for PSU. It's definitely never as populated as PSO, but there's enough to play. Haven't played PSO2 yet, but planning to later on. Also, thank you for your guides on PSOBB. Just got into the game last week and got totally hooked. Really awesome series. It really is. I don't know how much Phantasy Star you've played at all, if PSOBB is your first one or not, but there's a lot of different types of games in the series. So if you like sort of classic JRPGs, some of the really early Phantasy Star games for the Master System and Mega Drive are really good. Some of them are not so good. And then the online games, there's quite a few. You've got, you know, Phantasy Star Online, you've got Universe, which is what we're playing here. You've got PSO 2, there's NGS, which is the newest one. And they all do play a bit differently as well. Oh yeah, I saw you post on the Discord, Drakashi, that you were close to 200. Do you think you'll hit it on stream then, or...? Oh, nice. Do you get a banner for level 200 on Clementine? Or is it just for rare drops? BB is my first. I've known about the game for a few months, but just started with friends a week ago. Oh, nice. Honestly, it always makes me really happy to see people who are new to the franchise getting into it, because obviously it's a very old game. If you weren't around at the time, it can be kind of hard to see the charm in it. Because admittedly, a lot of my love for PSO is nostalgia. You know, I love the game, but a lot of that is because I played it a lot when I was younger. So to see people who are new to the franchise altogether and getting into it is really, really nice to see. You will find as well that generally the community is really nice. Well, I say that, it depends on what game you play. PSO, the community is generally really nice for, as most of PSU is. Hey, congrats, Drac. 200. No banner, oof. Well, congratulations on level 200. Kind of sucks that you don't get a banner. Like, it's ridiculously hard to get 200. But yeah, the community for PSO is generally really nice. NGS's community is very mixed, to say the least. Well, I say that. NGS community, the people who actually play the game are generally fine. They're generally totally fine, but the game has a lot of haters. So, but yeah, if you play like PSO or PSU, you should have no problem with people for the most part. People are generally really helpful as well. Zill's still lost. Seeing on Reddit, people's opinions are really mixed. Yeah, it's one of those games where you kind of need to play it yourself to make a decision on it. Don't be too swayed by Reddit comments. Just try it for yourself if you're interested, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. Ah, we have an issue. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with Zell. I'm not sure if his game has crashed or if he's just lost. It's free anyway, so it's not like cost anything to try. Exactly, yeah. But yeah, with PSO BB, it's a kind of game where if you want to sink a lot of hours into it, you can very easily. Particularly when you get to higher level as well. There is a lot of stuff to go after. Super lost where the counter is. So when you go to the event lobby, and when you spawn in, turn around and go to the counter behind you. It's basically the counter that would take you back to Otoku City. Hey, PK, good to see you. Yeah, because we do have a full space, PK, if you want to join. Oh, you kept going through the white base gate. Yeah, it's the other one. So, like, when you spawn into Pavilion of Air, turn around and go to the gate behind you. It is weird they do that. I think they could have just put it on the white base counter. It's kind of counterintuitive to turn around and go to the one behind you. But there we go. He's made it. It's counterintuitive. Do you know what? I didn't even realize I'd said that. This is a private server for PSU, yeah. So this server is called Clementine. Pretty much one of the only PSU servers as far as I'm aware. Certainly the only one I know about anywhere. There we go. He's made it. Nice double cannon. Actually goes really well with the Hugo Seal outfit. Color coordination is on point. Yeah, I hope you have fun with the games, Coco. I say there is a lot to do. This week as well, honestly, like from today until next Sunday is a really, really good time to play if you just started PSOBB because it is experience boost week. So I don't know if you're aware, but on Affinia, basically there is like a rotating 4-week boost. And at the moment for this week, it's experience boost, so all the quests have 150% experience. Well, I'll say all the quests, just everything in general has 150% experience, but quests included. So it's a great time to get some levels, particularly if you're making a new character. I can't use Sangyasha on these because it'll make them spin. Yeah, so it's until next Sunday it'll change. So every Sunday it rotates around. So it tends to go, it'll be experience boost this week. Someone just found a Sangyasha U Star Plus. Just says show me up, you know. Yeah, so it'll be experience week until like next Sunday. So you got the full week. Then after that it goes to drop all rate week. So that will basically make things have a higher chance of dropping items in general. Then after that it will go to rare monster week. So again, I don't know if you know this, but there are like rare variants of some monsters, and that will make them more likely to appear. And then the week after that is rare drop week, which is the big one. That makes all the rares drop more often. And it just rotates that every 4 weeks. There are also events on Affinia as well, so during events quite often the rates will get adjusted as well. Oh, you've seen the blue Rappy, yeah, so that's one of them, yeah. That's Al Rappy. So they normally have like about a 1 in 500 chance of appearing, but during Rare Monster Week it's a bit increased. I think it goes to about 1 in 375 or so. Yeah, the rabbit hole goes very, very deep for PSO. It's one of those games that once you get into it, it is kind of hard to get out of it. It kind of depends on your mindset though as well. If you love games where like grinding for like rare gear is a goal, then PSO is a really, really good game for it. Because there is a ton of rare gear to find. Just try not to look at the drop rates too much for some of the stuff because it might put you off. Or like Heaven Striker. I mean, at least like Heaven Striker is somewhat doable. I wouldn't say Heaven Striker is an Uber. It's not easy to get, obviously. Speaking of Ubers, I will have a video coming out probably next week, which is the next in my How to Find the Uber series, which will be about Lavis Cannon. And you can have fun with watching me try to find a Lavis while doing it and getting trolled by their enemies. So have fun with that. Oh no, it'll never happen on camera. No, if I'm streaming or doing a video, nothing will ever drop. What will happen is a random Mill Lily showing up in the run. Okay, so these are light versions of dark enemies. Okay, that's interesting. Never worry about the drop rates when you're having fun. That's the way to look at it, yeah. I mean, obviously not if you want to hunt for stuff, the game will let you do that. But yeah, obviously having fun with the game is the most important thing. And if you get something cool, you get something cool. There's a turret. These actually look pretty cool with this colour scheme. Yeah, I do realise as well that PSO can be a bit of an overwhelming game if you've just got into it for the first time. Obviously, I have a lot of guys on my channel. There are other people who do videos as well. If there is anything that you don't think I have covered that you think would be useful for a new player, let me know and I can look into it. Clementine PSU service is so awesome. I really like Clementine. Oops, someone got a banner. Yeah, I think making this dark element was definitely the play. It is kind of crazy, isn't it, that Clementine is, like, well, to my knowledge, the only PSU server? Look, I know PSU was never as popular a game, but PSO has a lot of servers. We can backtrack or split. I'm happy backtracking, honestly. No, I don't think I was a Tarana. All I said was for like newer players to PSO, if there was any sort of videos that they would be interested in me doing, because obviously I'm very much not a new PSO player. I might miss things that a new player might find useful. So if there is anything that they would find useful, I'm happy to consider doing a video on it. That goes for any of the games as well. Obviously, yeah, my knowledge of PSO is definitely a lot more than the other games, but I will peruse the old videos and see if I notice anything. Yeah, by all means. One thing I am going to try and start doing as well, because someone did ask me in the YouTube comments for it, I'm going to try and start putting chapters on the videos as well if I can, like timestamps. Because I realise that some of the videos are very, very long, and quite often I just don't bother putting timestamps on them. And I think it would be a big help if I did. So I will try and start doing that going forward. For the longer videos at least, anyway. I actually think that these being light element makes it easier. Because there's no Mega to worry about. There's a lot of enemies in this, I will say. It is quite a long quest. Sometimes I forget that Mega in this game is instant kill like the other games. Yeah, so in this game it does damage and has a chance of instant kill, doesn't it? There's so much content as well as character pass item variations in these games that I'm always learning new stuff even in PSO. Awesome. Yeah, one thing I will say is for any new players to PSO, if there is one video I would recommend you watching of mine for PSO, I mean, obviously the beginner's guide will be useful to you, but apart from the beginner's guide, I would say definitely watch the Tekka video, because not knowing how to use the Tekka in PSO is a really easy way to screw yourself over. So if you are considering playing PSO, if you just started, please watch the Tekka video. Stuck at an awkward spot in the leveling process where 3 levels away from 180, and I don't know how else to level besides Clim Camp. Let's listen to the music, hold on. It's like very oddly quiet music. Oh, that is just PSU music, fair enough. Yeah, leveling at 180 plus does definitely drop off, and definitely a 190 plus. Yeah, I feel a bit better now, Draffy. I'm still not 100%, but definitely a lot better than I was. One thing that's very easy to miss on Affinia is the /bank. Yeah, the chat commands are really, really useful on Affinia as well, for sure. Come on, you know you want to land. You 177 at the minute, okay. Honestly, at the minute, if you're playing, I would say maybe just consider doing the Valentine's event. I would imagine that that's probably one of the best sources of experience at the minute for you. Well, that was underwhelming. I remember having a full dark palette just for White Beast back in the day, yeah. People who played back on live service know that this, well, White Beast was just spammed to hell constantly. Oh, you sniped him with Nos Megid. Nice. Okay, anything of any use. A few grinders. And nothing else. Cool. Just got back. What the hell is the awesome dragon design? Yeah, there's some really cool enemy designs in this game. It is one of many 2-headed dragons in the game. They like to reuse the same skeletons a lot. But yeah, that is Altaraz Goog. Use your AP. I should. Hitboxes on the dragon are atrocious. Yeah, he has some very questionable ones. Mainly when you're alongside him, just being within like a 5-mile radius of his feet seems to knock you over. Do you know what? Since we're here, everything in this quest is light elements, so I should probably just change some other weapons to dark for now. We'll change that, and we'll change those. It really is a horrible noise. I liken that noise to the same kind of thing as like the Sonic drowning noise in the classic Sonic games. It is a game noise that just inflicts PTSD on people who know. I mean, this is an Ilgil scythe, so it stands to reason it should be Dark Element. Yeah, for those who don't know, that is the noise that would play when you were grinding your weapons in PSU on live service. And on live service, you could blow your weapon up. Well, specifically on base game PSU, the way the grinding worked on it, if you weren't there for it, every time you grind your weapon, there was a chance you would just blow your weapon up and lose it. They did somewhat change it for the expansion. But yeah, imagine that noise playing and then your weapon just exploding. A weapon that you may have spent a lot of money on or a lot of time finding. And it wasn't a case of, oh, you've just failed the grind. No, it's you've failed the grind and blown your weapon up. You have no weapon now. I don't know what the thinking was behind it. I imagine it was done by someone who was just very unhappy with the world. And the thing is, like, the chance to blow your weapon as well got higher the higher the grind got. So when you were grinding from like 9 to 10, it was like a really, really dicey chance to destroy your weapon. So they did change it in the expansion, which is what this server is based on, so don't worry about that. The worst you can do in this is you can reduce the maximum grind of the weapon, which I'll show you in a sec. And by the way, before I start this, was there anyone else who wanted to join? Just because there is a 4-player quest as well, so if we do have 4, we could run this. I think I preferred it when weapons just brought back in the day. That way you weren't repeatedly wasting grinders to make your weapon even worse than before. I mean, I guess the way the expansion did it, I suppose, was it was like a compromise. So you were still kind of ruining your weapon because if it exploded once, then you could never ever get it to plus 10 grind. But I suppose for me, it was probably better that than losing the weapon altogether. You just got PD'd on Sanga right on theme. Nice. That's how it works on U+. Or so do you actually just blow the weapon up on U+ then? Reminder, never grind a U+ weapon. Oh, so it's, yeah, so it's like the Ambition of the Luminous grinding. Yeah, that's how it was for Illuminous. So the first time you failed to grind, it would drop from like X out of 10 to X out of 9, and then X out of 8, X out of 7. So you basically got to a point where the weapon just couldn't be strong. You can repair U not plus weapons with GC, okay. I guess that's how they get you to keep playing though, I suppose by having the rarest weapons with that. It makes you have to go and farm more, I guess, if you want a nice one. Or just buy one. I agree with Zale, I would just buy them, I think. Well, I don't know how long Pig is going to be, so I guess I could start another one. You can join mid-mission in this. There will be a password, but the password will be 6969. So if you do want to join it, just enter that password. As someone who spent 75% of my time grinding, that was my option anyway. Most people felt otherwise. It's just a wild decision. I just wonder who thought, yeah, let's have a system where you can just completely destroy your gear. I will say, though, grinding has been a problem for me with Phantasy Star games for pretty much every game since PSO. I like PSO grinding, where you just use a grinder and the weapon goes up, number go up, weapon gets strong. I'm happy with that. PSU's methods was just insane. And then it felt like almost every other game after that just punished you in some way or another. You'd much rather have a system that makes you farm rare materials for the upper tiers of grinding. The thing is, Mist, on PSU, there were some really rare items, so you would still have to find like rare materials to even make the weapon, and then you'd be faced with that grinding system. It was definitely one of the worst things in PSU for sure. Man, dude just pieced out as soon as I got near him. It's rude. Could usually make your money back regardless. The risk made the weapons way more valuable. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, even if we go to the most current game with NGS, I still don't like how the grinding works in NGS. I know anyone who likes the way the grinding works in NGS. It's not that you can destroy your weapon or anything in that game. It's just, pardon the pun, it is very grindy. It just takes a lot of fodder materials and everything in NGS to get your weapon to max grind. It just takes forever. I mean, it could be a lot worse, but I'm simple. I just liked how it was in PSO, where you just use the grinder. Don't worry about it. To be fair though, I guess Affinity does have its own kind of version of that with the, the ability to add hit percentage to body part weapons. I guess that is RNG. I mean, you're not going to break the weapon doing it, but I guess that's probably the nearest thing. Kind of wish it was like in Return to Raggle with higher grind levels. Oh yeah, I mean, we didn't even touch on that 8-bit, did we? Yeah. So yeah, as well as having the chance of blowing your weapon up by grinding it, you might not even get the weapon in the first place, because a lot of weapons you had to make through things called synthesis boards. So you would find the board, which was basically like the recipe to make the weapon, and then you need materials to make it. Most of the stuff that you made did not have a 100% success chance, so you would try making it, and there was a real potential you could fail the synthesis. So you might not even get the weapon in the first place. Looking back now, it was incredibly punishing. It's actually insane that they actually allowed that to go ahead. The affinity system is a much fairer one, though. You take chances to get bonuses. Yeah, I mean, again, there's no chance of destroying your weapon or anything with that on affinity. It's just the nearest thing I can sort of compare it to. The only risk, I suppose, is that you're wasting photon crystals if it fails. I do not remember these little enemies at all from PSU. It has been a long time since live service, but I don't remember them at all. Seems we've got a different block this time, actually, so I'm guessing there must be different variants. Which is cool. I do like quests where they can change up a bit. Yeah, I should probably use Nano Blast at some point. I just realised I didn't use it at all last run. Again, this is probably one of the coolest things about PSU for those who haven't played it. The fact that you have racial abilities. The thing that irks me with these systems is the double and triple stacking of chances and randomness. Ah, there we go. Pika's joined us. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're talking about sort of double stacking RNG, I guess one way to compare that in PSO, I guess, would be hunting rare enemies. Or trying to get a drop from a rare enemy, because you're trying for the RNG of getting a rare enemy to appear, and the RNG of a rare drop from that rare enemy. Oh, cool, we've got, I assume, rare enemies. Rappy Amios and Jago Amios. Cursed Jagos, yeah, I mean, every Jago is cursed. I don't know why they decided, yeah, let's make a Chow that looks horrendous. Like, they have like huge teeth. I don't know why they thought that was a nice idea. But it is a thing that exists. You got a BT Lover's Decoration. Nice. Why not? I mean, yeah. Oh god, these guys. Sort of like kobolds and chows mixed together, still very cursed. They are very, very cursed. Look at that. Just look at it. Oh, I got a cactus chair. Brilliant. That is exactly what it sounds like. Oh, I got a WD lovers decoration. Which I think is White Day lovers. You also got WD lovers, nice. I do wonder what BT lovers means, because I know WD lovers is like White Day, because if you don't know, White Day is kind of another holiday in Japan in March that is kind of linked to Valentine's Day. It's very weird. I don't know what BT would stand for. Yeah, I guess we can split. So what would BT stand for? If it was BD, I could understand it, because I know Valentine's in Japan is like Valentines. So that could make sense, but BT, unless it is, unless BT is meant to be like an abbreviation for Valentine, which would be Valentine in Japanese, I guess. Well, got another one. We're getting a full red enemy run. It does seem that way. These guys are rather strong. God, they really are cursed. PSU seem very, very good at making really cursed enemies. You know, the huge rappies are cursed. The PSU boomers are cursed. These are cursed. Seems to be a bit of a running theme. I mean, I'm getting a lot of these WD lovers decorations. I don't think I need this many. I like there was just no delay whatsoever on that spawn. Oh, I got Ash's soul again. Every single stream he dies. That's a name. Total Ho has received a Dana Cannon New Plus. I mean, you do you. And the funny thing with PSU is if a banner scrolls, every time the screen loads, it will replay the banner if it hasn't gone off the screen yet. Where are you going, Altaraz Goog? What are you doing? I think he's a bit confused. I do just seem to take damage out of nowhere on this fight. I understand that the tail occasionally does the swipes that hit you, but then now and again I always take damage for seemingly no reason. What's up with the music? It's like a scuffed version of the Jurassic Park theme. Yep, I mean, this is a song from PSU. It's not this boss's normal music. It seems out of tune. The only thing I think of is, I know there is a weird thing on Twitch sometimes where occasionally the music will go out of tune. It normally fixes if you refresh. It could just be that theme though. Oh, Flight of Fighter 25, nice. Oh, I got an Ancient Unsealer. That's on brand. Guess what that's used for? I need to get a sealed J sword in this game. I haven't got one yet. I kind of want to get one in PSR 2 as well, just so I can unseal it for the camo. Because there is a really cool thing in PSR 2 where if you get a sealed J sword and kill 23,000 enemies, you get a camo for Tsumakira J sword. Which is a very nice touch. Don't forget to use boosters and JP. I've got plenty of Dark Element weapons, don't worry about that. Just deposit some of this. Accuracy, what does it say on the Unsealer? A device which uses an ancient method to unseal artifacts from a bygone era. Well, I guess, do you want to try the other quest then, since we've got 4? Because I know there is a 4-player quest as well. Which will be this one. Yeah, it's 4-player only, this one, so we can only do it if we've got 4. So, I mean, the descriptions tell me nothing. It just says, work together with a fellow guardian to defeat the enemies. Thanks, game. I mean, we'll try it. I know it says this can loop, so I'm going to ask, is there a time limit or something? Yes, there is, yeah, so we need to kill as fast as we can. So you probably won't be able to see it on stream, I don't think. You might be able to see slightly. Basically on the right-hand side of the screen, there is an enemy kill counter, and there is also a time limit, which is currently at about 870 seconds. So I guess we just need to kill as fast as we can. It also does appear to have split us up. So I'm going to use a Magister Ride. 10 out of 10 B gem. It is. It is. Also, we've got more rare enemies. Yeah, this music's amazing. Again, PSU generally has a really strong soundtrack. Okay, so buying this Sangasha was a very, very good choice. This is a very, very strong weapon. We need another key. I'm guessing they get the key for the side, maybe? Yeah. Nice. You forgot about the heart Jaguars. How could you? They're so cute. Oh wait, no, not cute. The other thing. Yeah, they are very, very horrifying. Now, I don't know if there's any way to extend the time limit or anything, or if it just continuously ticks down, but we'll find out, I guess. So I don't know if this is like a challenge quest or something, just try and kill as fast as you can, but I'm glad there's more than one quest for the event though. It feels like a bit more of a big deal than the Affinia Valentine's event. I think Valentine's on PSO is a very, very minor thing. Smaller jumping enemies in the last area are unique to Clementine. Blue Para are normally seen in the Habarov Forbidden District lobby, but the enemy ones use the room decoration model. I thought I'd never seen them on Sega servers, yeah. Thanks for clarifying that, yeah, because that was bugging me. I played PSU a lot back in the day and I could not remember seeing those enemies. That makes total sense. Oh, more cursed rappies. I mean, these are slightly less cursed than the Jaguars at least, but... There is one seasonal enemy I do really like in PSU, and that is the Easter rappies. The Easter rappies in PSU are really cute. Because they're not just, you know, the ones in PSU, sorry, the ones in PSO, sorry, are just an egg with legs sticking out of it. The ones in PSU are mostly rappy, but they've got like an eggshell stuck on the head. I can't see where they're going. And it's very cute. Okay. I'm guessing this part's just going to lead to another switch and then we'll come back. Alright, cool. Yeah, this music is peak. I absolutely love this theme. And this area as well, actually. I think most of the areas on New Days do look really good. So another switch is there. Ah, there is another switch there, yeah. I guess, yeah, we'll go this way. Clementine also added sand rappies from the PSP games. Can't remember if the models were imported from that game or was somewhere in the AOTI code. Yeah, because I know they weren't in PSU originally. They're really annoying, actually, in PSP too. Although, if you want to talk annoying rappies, the rare mecha rappies from PSP 2 are probably the worst. They were an absolute menace. Oh, I see a rat. Madame Umbrella, brilliant. Rappies and PSU would F you up. I kind of missed that. Yeah, speaking of which. God, they've got hands. Can you stop doing the weird spin? I think I just dunked one out of midair. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it was like a desync or something, but it jumped in the air. I did Rising Crush, and the rappy fell out of the air. I'm pretty sure I just dunked that. Now rappies are lit pinatas, they are. Yeah, so I assume... Oh, didn't even see this guy. No, don't spin. Can you not? That was totally on me. Yeah, rappies have changed quite a lot of the games, really. I think it's like the biggest change for them was probably Phantasy Star Zero, where they went to like the really, really small ones, and they've kind of stuck with that rappy design for the most part since. I mean, essentially the rappies that are in NGS now, the majority of those are kind of based on the Zero rappies, really. With the exception of the massive rappies that appear in NGS. Okay, yeah. Yeah, if we can bring them over to this fence, like we might be able to get Drac to tag some. Or we could just kill them all. That works too. There we go. I love the PSU soundtrack, especially the whole New Days disc. I used to listen to it on repeat. It's a really, really good soundtrack for the most part. The New Days music in general is just really nice. Okay, I'm going to assume there's another switch or something in here. Yeah, no worries, Drac. I'll try and see if there's a switch or something. There must be somewhere. They wouldn't do a goggles thing, would they? No. Oh, okay, so this room leads to a warp point, so I'm guessing... Actually, there is another switch, actually. Give me a sec. They hit it very sneaky on the side of the door. They should be able to get in now, I think. I'll still get you in, cool. Yeah, it's really different to the PS or soundtrack, isn't it? But it definitely stands on its own, though. I think that's the case for a lot of the Phantasy Star games as well. It's kind of hard to think of a Phantasy Star game that has bad music, honestly. I mean, there is the odd bad track here and there, obviously, but I can't think of a Phantasy Star game that's got bad music across the board, because even Phantasy Star 3, although it had some absolute stinkers, there was some good music there as well. You know, title screen music in particular is very, very good in Phantasy Star 3. Yeah, I've got a few of the soundtracks from Phantasy Star. I've got the PSO Dreamcast soundtrack, the PSO Episode 1 and 2 soundtrack, and the PSO Ep 3 soundtrack. I would like to get more. I'd love the Phantasy Star 4 soundtrack, honestly, but the issue is there's just not many ways to get that. Okay, so we have managed to beat one lap, so we were good enough to do one lap at least. Why is Bruce here? Bruce is just a shop, okay. Bruce, the NPC with the most unnervingly named quest in the entire series. That being Bruce's Dungeon. Make of that what you will. Why does Bruce have a dungeon? Probably best we don't answer that. Okay, so is it the same enemies again? Well, these Galdines weren't here last time. That's Galdine Nintendo, not Goldine. Yeah, Bruce was just kind of chilling. So the timer did stop briefly once we completed the lap, but then as soon as we started lap 2, it started again. I don't think we're going to get lap 2 done. You have a box set from Japan that has all the PSO and PSU tracks from every episode or incarnation of each series. Very good value for money. Oh, nice. I know Phantasy Star 4 did get a vinyl soundtrack release not too long ago. I do not own a record player, so I think overall, I think NGS probably has one of the weaker soundtracks for the most part. But I think a lot of that is just because it kind of tries to do its own thing. I mean, I know some of the previous Phantasy Star games have done that. PSU did it. You know, PSU kind of doesn't lean on earlier games for its soundtrack for the most part. But I feel that some of the NGS soundtrack just isn't that memorable. There is a few really good songs from it, but I think for the most part it is probably one of the weaker soundtracks. Even then, though, it's still not entirely bad. You know, there is some really good songs on it as well, so... Okay, we've got 90 seconds left. I don't think we're going to clear this, but... I'm assuming you just get a reward based on how far you cleared. It's an interesting quest, at least, though. I like the idea of it, of doing laps. I don't think we're too bad, really. It's called the Phantasy Star Music Collection 2000 to 2007. It's an 11 CD set. I'm assuming that was something that was only ever released in Japan, I'm guessing. As is usually the case. Okay, we've got 5 seconds. That was very sudden. I would say it warped us slightly before time ran out, but, you know. I guess you got here for rewards, I assume. Yeah, 11 CDs, I can see that. I mean, if it's all of the PSO games and PSU... Oh, there's a weapon. Got a Rambling Mayu Plus. I mean, I'll take it. Just materials. It's actually not that many drops, is it really? I guess maybe you get more drops the more laps you do, possibly. Maybe it's like one big box for every lap you complete. Yeah, that's not bad. I think I prefer the other quest overall. But that's not bad, though. Why is the crystal to go back all the way over here? But yeah, I will look into that music collection. I don't know if I get it because obviously I've already got most PSO soundtracks anywhere. Oh, it's 10 CDs and a DVD called Phantasy Star Universe Chronicle. Out of curiosity, what's the DVD? What kind of stuff does the DVD have on it? Is it like opening movies and stuff, or... He's got it down from your shelf. Nice. Was this a group we had in Tower? We could do that. I honestly can't remember. I mean, I'm happy to do Tower if you want to do that for a bit of a break. I guess it's some progress, isn't it? So... yeah, let's try doing Tower. So that is at... It was Falls Memorial, wasn't it? We get RDR if we finish. Nice. Yeah, we can do that. What is the best way to get to Falls Memorial from here? Also, what do you do? Most important ingredient to Valentine's chocolate is love. I would think it's chocolate personally, but... I'm hoping for chocolate this year. Good luck. Is there any other NPCs, or is it just those? I think it's just those. Take the Claire's City Shuttle, okay. Not that shuttle though, the other one. Take me to Falls Memorial. It is still saying the mission is still in progress, which is strange. It says trial ended, but the quest does not seem to have finished. So I guess, do I have to leave party and remake the party then, if the quest hasn't finished properly? Also, yeah, for the person who was in chat earlier who's just started PSO BB, you'll get to know this plus. Just abandon the quest, okay. Oh, isn't there someone hiding behind here? I seem to remember that. Yeah, there's a rappy hiding behind here, isn't there? You're ugly, you're disgusting. I'm gonna kill you, give me $200. I think not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's got the drop kick. That's more suiting. There, just think about that. Okay, what do you do, Leo? You are the GC counter, which is very handy. Do we have any idea what element the enemies are in Tower, or is it basically everything? It's grounds at this point, okay. So, do you mean, are the enemies electric? Or do I want to make my weapon electric? It's one or the other. I can't remember. Slight issue when they are opposing elements. It's going to go light and dark eventually. Okay. Let's check the wiki quickly because it might serve. I hope. Right, so what floor are we up to? We are on floor 46. So floor 46. Random ground enemies, so you want to make your weapon electric, according to this. And it is the same until floor 60, so yeah. So it's you want ground armor and electric weapons. Okay, just got to unequip these again, so I can actually change the elements. And change that. And you know what, you can change my Ilgil Testament as well. Out of this one and PSO, which would you recommend? Both. I know that's a cop-out answer, but they're very different games, honestly. There's things that are shared between them, but honestly, just try both of them, see which one you prefer. Both of them are good games. PSO's got a much bigger population, but PSU is still a really decent game. So yeah, I would definitely check both out and just see which one you prefer. Okay, Leo, I'm going to need you to change this to lightning. Chronicle DVD contains the same movie spanning Garal's history, story, and events that are on the PSP2 bonus disc exclusively released in Japan. Movies are in a higher quality than on the original PSP disc. Oh, nice. I've never seen those because obviously I've never played the Japanese version of PSP2. I played Infinity, but... Okay, change this to lightning. Yeah, Portable to Infinity is also a really good option as well to try out. If you want one with a good multiplayer player base, then definitely go with either PSO Blue Burst or PSU. Or NGS, I guess. Okay, you can also change that as well, so change element to lightning. It is very funny that I've got 10,000 GC to do that and it takes one. Genuinely love both, but PSU is my preferred poison. Yeah, for me, I probably prefer PSO overall, but I still really, really like PSU. Just started PSP2 Infinity with 60 FPS, HD textures, dual analog, and it's been great. Yeah, Infinity is an amazing game. It's so good. PSO and Infinity is my favourite. Yeah, I think for me, it's probably PSO, PSP2 Infinity, and Phantasy Star 4 are probably my favourite ones overall. Alright, well, let's try Tower and just see what it's like, I guess. We did some of this in another stream as well, so this is another quest they added a little while back. Oh yeah, I forgot it plays Ignite Infinity basically constantly for the whole quest. Yeah, Phantasy Star 4 really surprised me how good it was. But yeah, I hope you like Ignite Infinity. Because you're going to hear it a lot now. I mean, it's a great song. But it's a great song kind of once or twice. I don't like that it's robots because they're really annoying to deal with melee. Can you, like, let me in the room? Thank you. You dressed for the occasion. Oh yeah, you're wearing it's Nagis's outfit from Infinity, isn't it? Don't know how I died there, but whatever. Sure. Oh, it's the ice text they're using. The ice text that they use, it kind of has like a lingering hitbox, which is really irritating. Okay, so there is a big crusher in the middle of the room, so we should probably avoid that. I mean, there's no wonder that Infinity is a great game, honestly, because I suppose if you think about it, it is kind of the ultimate version of the Goral system games. Yeah, it's those guys. It's the ice text they're using. See, it's still hitting me there. That's not a Clementine thing either. That was a problem on the Sega servers as well. That ice tech in particular just lingers for ages. God, it hurts so much. It's because that's why. It's because they're technique buffed, so their techs do more damage. You're just gonna tell me to heal. The thing is, you tend to find in this game that, particularly when you've got someone using Giresta on you, you absorb so much damage that typically things won't really hurt you much, but then all of a sudden you'll just die. Yeah, I really don't like these guys with a melee class. The experience is stupid, I have to say. Why are those guys like half of one robot and half of another? I've never seen that. Normally they're all red, but those last ones were kind of red with a blue head. It's similar, these ones. Kind of a mixture of the two robots you normally get. But yeah, I love this song, but I think it was a mistake to have it as the music for this because it does get repetitive after a while. I think they should have had a terminal in the quest that lets you change the music, personally. I do get why they chose this song, because you are essentially doing like an infinite tower. I think there is an actual end to it, but it feels infinite. Burning Ranges would have been better. I mean, clearly. You can never go wrong with Burning Ranges. Also, if we're talking about classic Sega stuff, there was some really sad news. I don't know if you saw it. I posted it on Twitter. One of the guys at Sega who was responsible for the design of most of the Sega consoles passed away recently. Who's basically the guy who more or less designed the, I believe it was everything from possibly from Master System onwards. Yeah, he passed away recently, which is really sad. I think he was in his 70s, but yeah. From what I read, it sounded like he was the designer behind a lot of the Sega consoles, but he also had like management roles as well. And he was involved as quite a senior manager for some Sega games of the time, one of which was PSU. I don't think he was involved with the actual game itself, but he was kind of the more like the management side. Yeah, if he was the guy who designed most of the consoles, though, it had a massive impact on a lot of people's childhoods, I imagine. Oh my god, that trap was absolutely brutal. And I did not see that at all. I have noticed there is a lot more traps as we're getting up this tower. I do want to try and expand my retro game collection at some point as well. Got a Mega Drive not so long back, and I definitely want to get some more games for it. I'm still looking for a PAL copy of Phantasy Star 4 that is not all the money in the world. I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah, that was Hideki Sato. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name, unfortunately, but yeah, Hideki Sato. I really should not be doing that to Build-A-Bears because they do have a habit of spinning. There's a counter to that. Okay, so I wonder how much damage those ice traps are going to do. Are they just going to instant kill me? Man, someone just got another banner. That guy doors. That's the second banner he's had today. Oof. A spin does so much damage. And in PSU, there's not really a way of avoiding it. You just kind of stand there and take it. Or they hurt. Either helped design or led the design team for every initial Sega platform. Yeah, they changed Excalibur's name to Excalibur BRE. I don't know why. That is a Clementine thing as well, because I don't think Excalibur was on Sega server. That I remember. I was going to say 8-bit. Yeah, was it right back to the SG-1000 that he was involved with? See, I always forget the early consoles because I know there was some like differences with the naming. So was the SG-1000, was that their very first console they made? Because I know there was the Mark III a bit later on, which... And again, I could be wrong on this because my knowledge of this is not amazing, but... I believe was the Mark III like the Japanese equivalent to the Master System as well. Yeah, I know the Mark III's in PSO, isn't it, as a mag cell? I can't remember how the chain goes in PSO, though. I can't remember if it... I know it starts with Mark III. I think. Then I can't remember if it goes to Master System after that, or if it goes onto Mega Drive after that, or Genesis. It goes to Master System next, okay. Yeah, then Genesis, then Saturn, then Dreamcast. What I've always thought's kind of weird about the Sega consoles, I know Nintendo did it as well. I've also found it weird that they kind of changed the colours of the consoles based on where they were sold. I didn't even realise that when I was younger. I just thought that all... So, for example, for the Mega Drive, for the Mega Drive 2, I always thought that they were just all black with red buttons. But from what I understand, I think the American ones were all black. And I think the Japanese ones are black with like a bluish purple coloured button on them. It's just kind of weird that they changed the colour scheme for different parts of the world. Mark III was the Japanese version of the Master System, okay. I wonder what the rationale was for changing the name about that as well. You knew about the blue button, I thought that was it. From what I have seen, again, people who are based in America can maybe clear this up, but I think the American Genesis, for the Genesis 2s anyway, I think they're just all black. But it's the same with things like the Saturn as well. So the Saturn in Japan is not black. The Saturn in Japan it's like a grey-white color. Yeah, the Dreamcast logo is a different color as well. So again, I could be wrong, but I believe the American one I think is an orange swirl on the American Dreamcast, and it's a blue swirl on the European ones. It's good to see a Magic Arrow as well. It's just weird that they basically do different colour schemes and everything for different parts of the world. I just wonder what the rationale, if anything, for it. And again, it's not just something that Sega do. I know Nintendo did it with the SNES as well. Maybe you can change the BGM in the Guardians Hub jukebox. I can try it, because as much as I like Ignite Infinity, I don't really want to listen to it for the foreseeable future. I'll go and try it. Just to complicate things, there was a final revision of the Mark III in Japan that looked virtually identical to the Western release, but with a smaller cartridge port and FM sound. I knew there was a difference in sound, obviously because of Phantasy Star 1. I know that Phantasy Star 1 had an FM sound version. Right, where's the jukebox? Okay. Set jukebox BGM. What have we got? I I don't have monetization on this stream, so I can be a bit more free with what I play. All of the Western Sig consoles were black except the Dreamcast. I never thought of that, actually. Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah, that they just changed for the Dreamcast. I must admit, for the Saturn in particular, I do massively prefer the Western version of it, the way it looks. I really don't like the way the Japanese Saturn looks. You want Trick Track? I'll have a look and see if it's there. I don't know if it is. It's like... Oh, there it is. It is there. Yeah, yeah. Okay, now will that persist? I really hope so. No, it's late, but I am pretty sure Excalibur existed on Sega. It was part of the normal weapons that were added as Clem progressed. Okay. I think it's just the hub BGM. Isn't there another jukebox option? There was one to disable BGM in Mission. Let me check again. So we've got set jukebox BGM, which obviously that's remembering it here. Disable jukebox BGM mission, so... I mean, I could just disable the BGM. That's actually no, because that's saying disable jukebox BGM mission, and the jukebox BGM is Trick Track. I'll leave it as it is, and we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll play Trick Track, maybe. I'm expecting it's probably going to play Ignite Infinity. Alright, let's just see. Oh, it's worked. It's worked for me anyway. Thank God I'm free from Ignite Infinity. Nice. Physical grey Saturn looks better in person, but still prefer it in black. The issue I had is, so when I went to Japan, I went to a few retro game shops, and they had a few Saturns in stock. And the issue was that a lot of them had like faded over time, so they'd kind of gone yellowish, which I know is a problem with the Dreamcast as well, and basically every white console. Saturn is still your favourite console of all time? I unfortunately have never played a Saturn. I didn't have one when it released because I remember wanting one because I'd always had a Mega Drive, and obviously it was a natural progression to go from a Mega Drive to a Saturn. But I remember when it released over here, it was so expensive. Just couldn't afford it when it released. So ended up dead apparently. I do disagree with that because I got crushed by that after it had already fell. So yeah, I really wanted a Saturn, but obviously I was still very young at the time and just couldn't afford one. And then, what, a couple of years later, the PlayStation released. I just went to PlayStation after that. Because I never got to play Dreamcast back in the day either. I only got a Dreamcast much, much later. Well, I had a friend who had a Dreamcast, so I did get to play it a little bit back in the day, but I didn't have my own Dreamcast. I would like to play a Saturn at some point, though. It's probably the console, particularly the Sega console, I'm probably least familiar with, honestly. Unfortunately, it does seem like getting into a Saturn is quite expensive. A lot of the games are very pricey. I think the very first game I played on Saturn was Knights, and then I had Dreamcast with loads of games. Photon Booster Plus. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it. You avoid white consoles like the plague. It's the only problem with them, isn't it? They just fade over time and go yellow. My Dreamcast's actually in pretty good condition. That really hasn't faded much at all. And actually, my PlayStation's actually really good as well. I'm a bit sad because my PS2 has recently just stopped working. So I might need to get another PS2 at some point. Thankfully, I do still have an old PS1 compact. You might be able to see it just behind me, just there. I used to have one of the original PlayStations, but that stopped working a long, long time ago. So I got one of the compact ones. I've mentioned it before on stream, I think, but I won it in a competition. Yeah, we're fighting enemy Vanzers from Front Mission, yeah. Yeah, there was a PlayStation magazine in the UK called, I think it was called PS Pro. And on their very, very last issue, because they were, I don't know if they were going out of business or just cancelling the magazine. On their very, very last issue, they had a couple of competitions. I think there was one to win a PS2, which was, I think this was about 2001, so it would have been very new at the time. And there was another competition to win a PS1. And I was actually one of the winners for the PS1. As a kid, I was slightly gutted that it wasn't the PS2. Because just a box just arrived at home one day. Completely unexpected. And then it had PS Pro written on it, so I knew I'd won something. But obviously, as a kid, I was really hoping it was a PS2 in that box. But yeah, if memory serves, I think it was a PS1, and I think it was a copy of Driver 2. Which I think I got, I remember I got to play it before it actually released in the UK. Okay, let's not make the same mistake as last time. So over there is death. Picked mine up in 96, even then it was second hand. I did want a PlayStation up until I played Virtua Fighter 2, Sega Rally, and Panzer Dragoon, so I all seemed better than anything on PlayStation to me. Yeah, I had a friend who had Dreamcast, and I used to go around his house a bit, and we used to play quite a bit of Sega Rally. He did not have PSO, so I did not get to know PSO through that. Driver 2 was cool. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty fun game. I've still got it, actually. I made a point of keeping most of my PS1 games. Do you know what, miss? This is probably a cardinal sin of gaming, but I have not played Crazy Taxi. I have it on Steam as well. I just haven't got around to playing it. I really, really should play it. Can you not? Oh, yeah, Vigilante 8 as well, yeah. I played, I think it was, I'm assuming the sequel, which was, I think it was Vigilante 8, the Second Defense. I had that on PS1. That was so good. I will try and correct my my mistake of not playing Crazy Taxi, though. I do have it on Steam. Because I remember when they announced they were delisting a lot of the old Dreamcast games, I bought a few of them. So I bought Crazy Taxi, and I also bought Space Channel 5 Part 2, I think it was. Again, I missed out on a lot of these games because I just didn't have a Dreamcast when I was a kid. You know, instead of Space Channel 5, I played things like Parappa the Rapper. Because I was a PlayStation kid, so it's not for the want to try. I did want to be a Sega kid, and I did want to play Saturn, but just the price when it launched in the UK was just ridiculous. I can't remember how much it was now when it released, but I seem to remember it was way more expensive than anything else. You got my promo with Sonic Adventure 1 and got for free on mobiles before they got moved from the Play Store. Yeah, Sega seem to unfortunately really like removing the games. I know recently, I think they removed one of the Yakuza games, didn't they? I think it was because they'd launched a remaster or a remake on Steam. Man, I mean, Sega are not the only ones to do that. I know Square Enix are doing it with Final Fantasy VII as well. My understanding is that they're basically removing the original version of Final Fantasy VII and releasing one that is exactly the same but with some extra gameplay tweaks or something. And with the great option of not being able to use your save game on it. Although, to be fair, they did say that if you've got the original version, you will still be able to play it. It'll just get marked as like a separate entry in your Steam library. But yeah, if you want to play the new version of Final Fantasy VII, which is the same game more or less, you can't use your old save games on it. I do wonder if it's to try and break mod support. And then charge $80. I don't know how much it is for the new one, honestly. Again, this isn't Final Fantasy VII Remake I'm talking, this is like the original Final Fantasy VII. Stalker series did that as well. Yeah, I don't really know what the reasoning is for it, honestly. Because if it doesn't cost any more than the original one, then it's obviously not a monetary thing. So, I don't know. It's weird. I think what's worse though is when they delist the game and just don't release anything to replace it. You know, like with the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive classics. Congrats to whoever leveled that. Got through 3 PlayStations, got your first in 2001. The CD drive, stopped reading on all of them. Very common, but no one seemed to talk about it until fairly recently. The CD drives and later the DVD drives on PlayStations are notoriously bad. I went through, so that is my second PlayStation. I had a big PlayStation before it. That stopped working because the laser just stopped reading discs. Then when I got a PS2 for the first time, that was one of the big PS2s. That stopped working because it stopped reading discs. My current PS2 that is now having problems, that is now struggling to read discs. Again, look, it's not just Sony consoles. I know my Dreamcast does have problems sometimes. My GameCube has problems sometimes. It just needs to be a thing with anything that has an optical drive. I guess they wear out eventually. Oh, Drac got a rare mission. Nice. Dreamcast was awful on the disc reader hardware as well. Yeah, thankfully the Dreamcast is quite easy to adjust. I know I do it now and again where if you open it up, there is like a little tiny screw next to the laser for the potentiometer, and you just adjust it very slightly, and that usually fixes the problems with it. I have to do that now and again. We can do a rare mission if you want. Yeah, sounds good. I will hand you lead. Yeah, also the thing about the Dreamcast as well, I don't know if this is just mine or if it's just the Dreamcast thing in general. They are so loud. Like when it reads the disc, it is the loudest console I've ever known for reading discs. I don't know if that's just something that's with my Dreamcast or if it's just a Dreamcast thing in general, but it is so loud. I know all consoles that use optical drives do have some noise, but it seems excessive for the Dreamcast. I still love the console though, even though I do have some issues with it. What rare are we doing starting to change elements? Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. Let's go to Motube Guardian Branch. Yeah, because I guess if we do one, like maybe the Caves one, possibly, just so we're not screwed over for element. We can go on Motube though. That works. Well, I think it's Motube Forest. Enemy element: ice, ground, light, lightning. I mean, I do have a few weapons I can use, so I should be okay, actually. Yeah, we can go to Motube. Yeah, I do seem to have a problem with old consoles with just them failing constantly. Particularly for my Sony consoles. I know I've mentioned about the laser on the PlayStations, but again, I don't know if this is the same for anyone else, but for me, the Sony controllers seem to always break. The worst thing for me with the Sony controls, I think, was the analog sticks. I don't know what it is about the early DualShock controllers, but the analog sticks always seem to, like, the rubber on the analog sticks seems to break down over time. But yeah, I've had no end of problems with Sony controllers. It doesn't let me pick S4, only S3. What's the level requirement for S4? Another planet. As far as 160 requirement, I mean, we're all like 190 plus, so that's weird. Let me check the wiki. Alright, so there is definitely a S4. It does just say Motub Guardians branch. See, does it say anything in the rare missions thing? It doesn't appear so. I can't see any reason why we can't do it. Probably going to pick an 8-bit or 360 controller still up. It's kind of funny that actually, yeah, because I know like when the Xbox 360 released, a lot of people hated the controller, mainly because of the D-pad. And the D-pad is atrocious on the 360. But I will say, I've got a 360 controller over there and it still works absolutely fine. So they seem reliable at least. That's New Days, okay. I like the 360 controller. The only thing I don't like is the D-pad. The D-pad to me feels very vague. I'm not sure what drive Sony uses, but I swear they must be cheapskates, especially as my OG Saturn's JVC drive lasted until 2023. Bear in mind I bought it second-hand in 1996. Yeah, I get that. I think the button layout on the Xbox, I mean, I think a lot of other companies have kind of replicated that, haven't they? So I will say to me, like the way the analog sticks are laid out on an Xbox style controller does feel more natural to me, rather than PlayStation 1. Yeah, that was my only real criticism of the 360 controller, just the D-pad wasn't great. Well, I guess and the fact that it used AA batteries, which didn't seem to last that long. That's really weird. I wonder why you couldn't do S4 on the other quest. That's really odd. I guess they ceased forest. Maybe they did, yeah. Honestly, I think my favorite controller is probably still the GameCube one. I really, really like the GameCube controller. Even though it's weird and like asymmetrical. I don't know, it just feels really comfortable, I think. And again, pretty quality controllers. I mean, my GameCube controller got absolutely hammered. You know, I've had it since 2003. And I played thousands of hours of PSO on it, and it still works absolutely fine. So man, stuff's just absolutely evaporating. I guess stuff has lower health than these, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure the enemies have like reduced health in these quests. I like how big the boxes are. Everything feels like weirdly scaled in the PSU versions of the PSO areas. System has played every game released in the UK as well as 200 plus Japanese games. A lot of hours over many years. Oh yeah, there is a 4-person door here actually. I don't know if it's worth doing, but I guess we can check. There's a few more enemies at least. Yeah, I do really wish I got to try the Saturn when it released, but it's just impossible for me to do at the time. Just like trying to be a PC gamer now. If I wanted to play PSU solo, should I just start with the base game or just skip to ARTI? The only reason to play the base game solo is to do the episode 1 story. Because for that it is offline only for the story for that, and you play as Ethan. Which might be a reason not to play it. So that is probably the only reason I would play the base game, honestly. Aside from that, Ambition the Illuminous is just better. So unless you really, really care about the episode 1 story, I'd probably start with the expansion. Yeah, I know we're playing a lot of multiplayer stuff here, but I think if you're soloing, yeah, play the base game for the story for sure, if you want to. I mean, the story for PSU is nothing revolutionary. It's fine. But then after that, I'd probably just move on to Ambition of the Luminous. I mean, I guess I should point out that on base game PSU, there is a mode called Extra Mode. Which, if you don't want to play online, that is another option to do. So Extra Mode is basically a mode where you make your own character, you play offline, and it's basically like a very limited version of the online. So there's generally less things to find. It's a very scaled back version, but it is an option to do if you want to. Would I be confused with any of the story in Ambition of the Luminous if you do skip? I guess the only thing that you might miss is some of the backstory of some of the characters, I guess. But particularly Ethan, I guess, because Ethan, like I said, is your main protagonist in episode 1, which is like offline PSU. It's a character you play as. He undergoes a bit of like a personality shift for Ambition of the Illuminous, so you might miss a little bit there, but in all honesty, I would maybe just say look up on YouTube and see if anyone's uploaded the story, and maybe just watch that. You won't miss much, honestly, by skipping the story. I personally wouldn't say that the strong point of PSU is the story. It's not terrible by any means, but it's not going to win any awards, put it that way. Yeah, I think I probably need to look into some replacement drives for some of my consoles as well. Like I said, my PS2 probably needs a new one. Maybe my GameCube as well. My GameCube, I can kind of get around it because I've got a flippy drive installed on it. So I can just run disk images instead, but... We'll get some Mazetta chunks. Which is something. Yeah, thanks for that, Drac. Going back to the Saturn and continued importing games after the Dreamcast died. Always preferred the Saturn, and at the time the games were cheap as chips and nobody wanted to play the Saturn back then. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I suppose if everyone was on the Dreamcast, I suppose even after the Dreamcast died, most people will have been wanting to play Dreamcast originally. But yeah, I know now, like, some of the Saturn games now are so expensive. It's the same for a lot of consoles, to be fair. Do we do a Valentine's game? We probably have about another half an hour or so of stream, so I guess we could do one more run. Alright, back to event lobby, I guess. Yeah, like I said, I was originally like a big Sega fan, and then when I couldn't get the Saturn, I was kind of forced to go PlayStation for a while. I think I kind of followed PlayStation until pretty much till PS3. I didn't really enjoy the PS3 the whole lot. I got one, but I honestly didn't really play it much. Oh yeah, we need to switch back Element again, don't we? Fine. I know there are some good games for PS3, but I don't know, something about a console just never really grabbed me. Right, change it back to dark. Give everyone some trauma again. Change that back to dark. How do you change element? So in this lobby peeker, if you go to where I'm stood at the minute, yeah, so just this computer here, and then if you go access GC counter, you will need the weapon to be unequipped from your palette as well. Then you basically just select the weapon and go change element, and then choose what element you want to change it to. Also, it has to be not locked as well. Okay, good to know. To be fair, I usually forget to lock things in this. I really should. Let's do that now. I hear that lock item is next to drop. That seems dangerous. Okay, and then let's actually go in the right door. Yeah, thankfully I do have a retro game shop like in my town where I live, so I do tend to check there every so often and just see what they've got in. That's actually how I got PSO version 2. They must have saw me coming, I think, because as soon as I went in, just immediately saw PSO version 2 and thought, well, I guess I'm not leaving without that. Or a Dreamcast. You're looking to get into Neo Geo during a major dip in prices too. Yeah, some of the SNK stuff is really pricey as well, so you've done well if you managed to get some of that cheap. That's one thing I'm really not familiar with. I really don't know much at all about SNK stuff. I've played a couple of SNK games, but yeah, not so much about the Neo Geo. Okay, and switch back to light elements. Yeah, the Ilgil Scythe looks right in Dark Element. It's kind of weird that the Ilgil Scythe is in this game when Ilgils are not in the game. I'm sure they added Ilgils back in, I think, was it PSP2 Infinity to show up again? So maybe this is just ported from PSP2 Infinity. You picked up Mega Drive and Saturn games for peanuts too. Saturn games were anything from 50p upwards at card boot sales, not even joking. Jeez. I mean, I guess a lot of it depends on what game it is as well. Obviously, some games are going to be a lot more expensive than others. Ilgils are horrible, like in PSO as well. There's a lot of people finding that Dragoon Technic item, so I'm guessing that probably drops here. People couldn't even give some of the sports titles or lesser known games away. Well, through reasons beyond my control, I have somehow ended up with 2 copies of World Cup Italia 90 for the Mega Drive. Yeah, my stepdad realised that he had a load of Mega Drive games from when he was a kid, actually, and just gave me a load. And unfortunately, 2 of like the multi-game cartridges have World Cup Italia 90 on them. Well, it's actually quite funny because one of them it's called World Cup Italia 90, and the next one is called Sega Soccer. I'm going to assume that's like a licensing thing that they had to change it, maybe. Maybe FIFA didn't want them to use the World Cup name after a while or something. It's an awful game. Like, legitimately one of the worst games I've played. But you should go and play just to see how bad it is. You had that one. Yeah, it's the top-down one, yeah. If you know, you know. Yeah, it's like a top-down view football game, or soccer game, whichever you want to go with. Yeah, I guess we can split. Oh, we can't here. We all have to go in the same one here. Yeah, it's a top-down game. And it's just really awkward to actually do what you want. Yeah, not good, not good. But it's one of those games where it's kind of so bad that you kind of want to play it. It's so bad that you kind of want to play it just to experience how bad it is. It's the Mega Drive one, yeah. So it's like I say, it's either called World Cup Italia 90 or Sega Soccer, depending on what year it was done. It's the same game, exactly the same game, just the title screen is different. Got Yashiya Plus, nice. Join the club. It came in the Mega Drive memory. So over here, I don't know what it was like around the world, but over here, the Mega Drive would typically come with like a multi-game cartridge. So yeah, that's the one miss. So I've got Mega Games 1, which is like a 3-game cartridge, which has one of them on. I can't remember if it's World Cup Italia 90 on that one or if it's Sega Soccer. I want to say I think it's World Cup Italia 90. And then I also have Mega Game 6, which is a 6-game cartridge, which has Sega Soccer on it, which is the same game. FIFA is one of those game series where I don't understand how absolutely furious people get playing them. Feels to me like a nothing but gameplay. Yeah, the only FIFA games I ever played is, I mean, I guess World Cup Italia 90 if you want to count that. I think I played one. Is it FIFA 90? No, FIFA 95, I think. And then I played FIFA 99 on PlayStation. That was it. I do not like football at all. So yeah, honestly, like, even if you don't like football, like if you've never played World Cup Italia 90, it's worth experiencing just to see how terrible it is. Still got your 3-game cartridge with a Shinobi Golden Axe and Streets of Rage. Yeah, so like my childhood Mega Drive, I had a 6-game cartridge, which I think was... It definitely had Revenge of Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage on it. And then I think it was Super Hang-On, Columns, and World Cup Italia 90. Because apparently everything has to have World Cup Italia 90 on it. I don't have that anymore, though. I got rid of all my Mega Drive stuff when I was a kid. Basically, when I got a PlayStation as a kid, you kind of thought, well, why would I ever need to play my Mega Drive anymore? I have a PlayStation now. Then, of course, you regret that later. So I now have a different Mega Game 6, which is weird because you would think that Mega Game 6 would have the same games on it regardless, but no. There are apparently several versions of Mega Game 6. For reasons I do not understand. But I also have the 3-game one now as well, which is my stepdad's old one. Yeah, it's same for me, but I'm just not a big sports fan generally, so I tend to avoid sports games for the most part. I do remember having I think I had a Madden NFL game when I was a kid as well. I don't know why, because I had no interest in NFL. I'm assuming someone maybe gave me the game at some point, because it's not something I would have bought. That's basically what the 6-game cartridges were. Yeah, they were essentially just the 3-game cartridges. The games from those more or less condensed onto one cartridge. I mean, it was great as a kid because, you know, you get your Mega Drive and like instantly you've got 6 games with it. I'm trying what's on the 3-game cartridge. I think it's, again, World Cup Italia 90. And then, what are the other two? I want to say Columns is one of them, and then I think Sonic the Hedgehog is the last one. Ever played Alex Kidd? I don't think I have. I more know it as like a Master System game. I know one of my friends had like one of the Master System ones, and I think I played that a little bit. It's World Cup Hang On and Columns. I'll have to have a look. Maybe Sonic's on the 6-game cartridge on this one then. I know one of them has Sonic 1 on it. I'll check after we've done this, because I'm curious now. Hit level 180. Finally, so happy. Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, once you're at 180, you can do most stuff in the game. Just don't worry about leveling now, basically. It'll happen when it happens. But yeah, you can run more or less anything now. You only have a couple of Mega Game cartridges, 2 and 3. It's funny, I've never seen anything apart from Mega Games 1 or Mega Game 6. To a point where I was almost convinced that 2, 3, 4, and 5 just didn't exist. It's really weird that every time I see one of them, it's always Mega Games 1 or Mega Game 6. Three of my friends had the 3-game cartridge, and all 3 of them had that combo. Okay. I wonder if it was just the 6-game cartridge that they changed around then. Because I know for a fact that the 6-game cartridge I had as a kid definitely had different games to the one I've got now. There was some were the same, but there's a couple of ones that were different. Yeah, I think one of the cartridges I've got has it's like some kind of Formula 1 game as well. I can't remember if it's Super Monaco GP or something else. Like some golf games as well as being into both EA Hockey, Madden's, NBA Jam sequels. Also got really into Major League Baseball for a while. Make of that what you will. I mean, some sports games are fun, you know. Yeah, for me, it's just I'm just generally not a big sports fan, so I tend to not bother with sports games for the most part. So I think this is where we split, isn't it? I think. I can't see a thing. All I can see is rappies. My camera is very sick. Well, I've actually burned a weapon out of PP. That never happens. It's kind of funny, for the Mega Drive, I barely had any games for it. Again, because, you know, back then, didn't really have a whole lot of money. You know, I was still a kid. It was basically whatever pocket money I had. So I didn't really have much money to go around for games. But it's kind of funny like how much enjoyment you could get out of the console with like a handful of games. Whereas now on Steam, got like, you know, 100 game backlog and it's like, oh, I've got nothing to play. Which is very funny how things change. Two is Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe. 4 is Super Monaco, Super Thunderblade, and Alien Storm. Okay. I just find it really weird though that 6 apparently has a few different options. I wonder what the reason for that is. You would think they would just increment it to like a new version, so like, you know, Mega Game 7 or whatever. It's just odd that there's like multiple versions of Mega Game 6. Because I know for a fact that the Mega Game 6 I have now is not the same as the one I had when I was a kid. And it was definitely Mega Game 6 that I had as a kid as well. I'm going to look this up after this mission now because I need to know. So yeah, I probably missed out on loads of good Mega Drive games, but it was just because, you know, it was really difficult to afford games back then. Whereas now you just can't afford the computer. Back then you had what you had, no online stores. Yeah, exactly. It's just funny though that, you know, now with Steam I've got so many games in my backlog, and quite often you look at them and just think, I really don't know what to play. Don't really have much. Whereas back then you had like, you know, 6-game cartridge and that was enough. You stop standing on me. Thank you. He's walking out the way of the baseball swing, which I really don't appreciate. Do you have Mega Games 1 complete in box? Column, Super Hang-On, and Italian 90. Must have been given that one. Alright, Drac. Just making him out of the sky. Well done. It's kind of funny, the boss actually doesn't get that much experience. It is a really useful tech, that. Oh. Floating edges U+. I mean, hey, at least we're getting something. I don't think I can use these because I think these are Fire Gunner. No, I can't use those. Maybe that's where it is missed, yeah. We've just got too many options now. Oh, there you go, that's the floating edges. Very convenient demo there. Quite cool looking daggers, actually. I think they're from... I want to say they're from PSP 2. Alright, I'm going to check these cartridges now because I need to see what games are on these. Yeah, here we go. So, we've got Meg Games 1. This has Super Hang-On, Columns, and World Cup Italia 90. And then I've got a Meg Games 6 cartridge. I don't have the box for this, unfortunately, but... this is Sega Soccer, which is World Cup Italia 90. Columns, Super Monaco GP, Revenge of Shinobi, Sonic 1, and Streets of Rage. Not bad cartridge, that. You should check shops for Seal Nadachi. Oh, now we're talking. Yeah, go on then. for a laugh, let's check how much sealed J Sword is. Sub Golden Axe for Sonic 1, yeah, pretty much. So my old Mega Game 6, so I had Sega Soccer, it was World Cup Italia 90 on mine. I had Columns. I didn't have Super Monaco GP, I had Super Hang-On instead. I had Revenge of Shinobi, I had Streets of Rage, and Sonic 1 was swapped out for Golden Axe. There are 3 volumes of Mega Game 6, okay, that makes sense then. It's just weird, isn't it, that there's 3 different versions of Mega Game 6. Instead of just calling them, you know, Mega Games 7 or whatever. And it's not because there's 6 games on the cartridge, because the first one was called Mega Games 1. Also, can I just point out the weirdness of calling it Mega Games 1? Because by that, you know they're going to make a second one. They've already planned that down the line. Right. I'm going to go to the room, and I want to see how much a sealed J Sword is. Columns, the Bejeweled of the 90s. I don't mind Columns, honestly. I think it's different enough to Tetris. Oh yeah, the cactus chair that I mentioned earlier. This is it. It's what it says it is. It's a cactus chair. You can interact with it. It does that. Check the shop in your room. You have 3 different rooms. First of all, title rewards. Expert airboarder, okay. I don't know why it's unlocked now. Search for a shop. Oh, as in search the shops in your room, okay. Can I go to rooms from here? I can. You have like 4 different rooms. I'm gonna go at the first one, whichever one that is. Yeah, it's free acupuncture, exactly. Right, what have we got? Oh, this song. This is the song that used to play. It was either the Valentine's event or the White Day event on PSO2. I remember this song. Also, I hope your parrot doesn't say anything offensive. Because again, for those who don't know, this parrot basically listens to what you say and will repeat things. And Sega thought this was a good idea. Guess how well that went. Let's have a look at the room then. Let's do a room tour. Very nice, very nice. Does that clock actually tell the time or not? It doesn't appear to. Which is weird because I know there are clocks you can get in the game that do tell the time. You can't figure out how to visit the other rooms. For me, it just showed up with 4 different rooms. Okay, we've got a yoga mat. There's a secret room. All your characters are named Drakens, that's why. Nice view, I have to say. Okay, let's search for a sealed J Sword. Do the parrots work properly now? I don't know if they work on Clementine. I don't know. There's one way to test it. Right, we'll see if he says anything. Right, let's have a look. So search for condition. Item name. I'm going to assume it's called sealed Nadachi /U plus. 5 mil. Oh, he's made it. 5 mil for a 309. Oh, that's actually a shiny one, isn't it? That's U star plus. Yeah, they all appear to be U star plus. Is that like the shiny ones? There's also Tsumikiri Nadachi U plus. I don't think there's a way to unseal on this, is there? Many have tried to break the seal but failed. I guess, is the unseal method on this, is it that you craft a recipe for it with the ancient unsealers or something? Because that would make sense. Do I want to spend 5 million on it? There's really not many. Let's have a look for Tsumikiri then instead. I think you unseal with the regular Unadachi. Okay. So Tsumikiri Nadachi /U plus. Kind of funny that's cheaper. I guess it's not a shiny. There's an 8 out of 8 there. Yeah, so we could buy one of those potentially. What does it say for the description on this? I see they still didn't correct that then. Owned by Orochi Agito. No, it wasn't. This blade is forged with incredible power that is no longer sealed. As a sword, though, dual blades are mentioned above. Twin saber, there is Amino, Murakumo, Jizai, Kagetsuchi, and Orochi Agito. I mean, I can use swords because, you know, I am fortified. The pirate hasn't said anything yet, so maybe it's broken. Did I find the secret room? I did not yet. I mean, it says find me. I can see your name here. I did type a message, yeah. Yeah, PSU just kind of ruined the whole secret room thing with the name flashing above your head. I think it's here. Oh, look at this hall. I like how I've got the throne as well, just to aura farm. Excellent. This is a really cool room. I actually forgot it had a hidden bit. Oh, is that what it is? Dalgon's chair? Just stole it from him when the Guardian Colony, when things happened to it. Check out the other rooms. Go on, then. We'll do this and then we'll end the stream once we check this. Also because I'm getting a bit sick of no. This is where it's going to be in every single room. Right, so I've got the second one. There's like barely anything in my room at the minute. That's the floating music, isn't it? Oh, Pika's here as well. Yeah, this is the Florida music. Oh, that is very cursed. You got gnomed. We did get gnomed. I guess you watched the same lore video as the rest of us did recently. Yeah, if it's the one by Sky's Not the Limit, yes. But yeah, it is a really bad translation. One more, okay. I can do one more. Yeah, it's just a really bad translation on the Tsumakiri. It was not owned by Orochi Agato. There was no person called Orochi Agato. Alright, next. Okay, room 3. Yeah, Sky's Not the Limit does really, really good videos. Again, I would thoroughly recommend people check them out if you haven't already. Nice. Do like a bit of the seabed music. I like I was just a punching bag in the corner again. Yeah, I'm just working down the list. I have no idea which rooms are which. This is where he does all of his nefarious experiments, I guess. Did Gnome give you that gnome? It's your evil conference room. I mean, you can't tell people it's evil. Look at this glitched hourglass with star. Yeah, is that 2 separate decorations you managed to get on top of each other? It does look that way. I don't know how you've done that. You can stack decorations. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that on Sega. But well done. Play around, you'll find it out. Yeah, I need to sort the room out at some point. Alright, next one. Already subscribed to him too. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for sort of pushing other content creators that do Phantasy Star stuff as well. There are not many of us, so... Especially when he does, he does really genuinely good content, so... I like the little mirror. Right, so this is clearly the chill room. Oh, yeah, I forgot that it's like a kotatsu table, isn't it? I'm sure there is sit somewhere. Where is it? Oh, it's literally the first one. Yeah, these are the tables they use in Japan, isn't it? With the they have like a heater underneath them. Can't really see it there. They clearly don't have it on this one, but yeah, they normally have like a little heating thing underneath them to keep it all warm. Another yoga mat. Yeah, this is a very chill room. Oh, that's good. I like the view actually. The fountain adds the waterfall noises. Yeah, I like that because there's clearly like a waterfall effect here that makes no noise. So you put the fountain in to make the noise. Yeah, I do like how you changed the backgrounds in this. I know they used it in PSO2 as well. No, PSO2 had some really cool ones. No, they are really, really good rooms. I'm sensing a bit of a mirror theme. Yeah, very cool. I basically only have something in this character's room, and there's virtually nothing in it. Oh, this is your gun tech's room, okay. I mean, it is a very Newman room, for sure. Well, thank you for the room tour. We love Mira. We do like Mira. But yeah, I think we will probably end there for today, I think. So just to clarify things, so Wednesday there will be a front mission stream, assuming everything goes okay. Miridol is cursed. It's semi-cursed. Yeah, so Wednesday there will be a front mission 3 stream. There will be a video going live this week as well, which will be another PSO how to hunt video. Then on Sunday, again, just to remind you guys, on Sunday there will be a collab stream for PSO BB, which will be a collab with Pizza Maid. And then the following weekend on the Saturday, there will be the chat show that Pizza Maid does on her channel, and I'll be on there. So yeah, again, for the stream next Sunday, people are more than welcome to join. We are encouraging people from both communities to join for it. So yeah, hope you enjoy that one. You moved all your rooms to different planets. That's kind of the way to do it. Yeah, we will end there for today. We'll do PSU again probably in another few weeks. So again, next Sunday will be PSO BB. Week after that will probably be 0 because we haven't done it for a little while. And maybe PSU after that. We'll see. And again, Wednesday is going to be front mission until we finish that, so... Each of my characters are in each hub, it's pretty fun. So you spawn there instead of colony. Yeah, I guess it makes hunting stuff easier, doesn't it? Or doing certain missions easier if you're already based on the planet. But yeah, we will end there for today. So if you have enjoyed the stream, please, as usual, please consider liking, subscribing, join as a member if you want to. You can follow or sub on Twitch if you want to as well, SectionSkyly. I have X and a Bluesky, SectionSkyly, and for the time being, I have a Discord. Again, I just want to stress for the Discord, at the moment, there are no plans to move elsewhere at the minute. It will depend on what happens with Discord going forward. I did go into it a bit previously, but for the time being, I have a Discord. If anything is going to change, I will update you. Because Discord, you know what's happening with it. I don't need to go into it again. Yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great week, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for some Front Mission 3. Looking forward to getting back to that because it's been 2 weeks now, so yeah. Yeah, whatever you're doing, have a great week, and I'll see you then. I mean, I'm going to dance, obviously. Yeah, have a great week, guys, and I'll see you on Wednesday. See you guys.